our special guest for today, guys, a coach and an inspirational speaker. Wow, a coach and an inspirational speaker. Let's all welcome my brother, my friend. Wow, Ryan Nurse. Bro, welcome to the show.
Jan, thank you so much for your incredible intro for me as well. I feel so blessed and grateful for you as well, bro, because we met each other about a year ago now on Clubhouse, and that connection straight away with you, I could say exactly to you as well. So just thank you for allowing me to be here and sharing my journey today with you too.
Bro, it's a blessing. I mean, again, knowing your story, meeting you, that we just really cultivate that trust between the two of us, and the people around us. So whenever this person speak, you need to listen, because he was asking me how short is short for his introduction, and I was like, he can speak an hour, he can speak 15 minutes. I was like, okay, hold on, bro. I know that you can speak, and when you speak, it's nothing's gonna stop you. but but guys, we are in for a treat from this human being. He's full of the quotes, and it's not just because he's memorizing things or he's reading things. It's because he is in that journey. He endured, he experienced all of those, and he's ready to share it for everyone in their journey towards success. So guys, let's start this, man. Ryan, we're I know your story, but our listeners and our viewers are excited to discover who and what influenced you to be in this position of greatness, so to speak. Can you give us a brief introduction of your story, the transformation from A to B? The floor is yours, my friend. Feel free to share.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jan. So my name is Ryan Nurse, and I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor and thriver who has also suffered from and overcome depression after a relationship breakup. I took my life from depression to progression, and now use my wounds as wisdom to guide confused adults in their 20s towards a future of fulfillment. So back in 2011, as an 18-year-old boy, I'd done what most 18-year-olds done, which was to go out to pubs and clubs with friends. And one evening in November 2011, like I say, I went out with some friends to a local nightclub, and the drinks were flowing, the music was pumping, and we were dancing the night away. And we were having the best time of our lives. But only until it was time to make it back to the safety of our parents' home. And as we left the nightclub, we noticed that some older men had followed us out, and they removed us from that taxi. So we decided it would be best to find an alternative way home. So we got into a separate cab and made our journey home. But as we did, that same taxi that we'd just been extracted from, with these older men that were now in there, followed us, and they demanded that we pulled over from radio and through to our driver's walkie-talkie. And our driver did obviously stop the vehicle, and those people ended up attacking us, which resulted in me being rushed to hospital the next day after my parents failed to wake me up. And I had to be rushed into hospital, where I suffered from a fractured skull and a blood clot due to a bleed on the brain. I had to be put into it.
Was it like someone hit you in the head, or did you fell
Yeah,
or something?
so what happened, these guys pulled us over in a taxi, and as they pulled us over, they turned their lights off, so we couldn't see anything in this dark, unlit road. And as we were sat there confused, like what's going to happen next, me and a few friends, there was this loud knock on the passenger front window, which my friend opened his window to see what the issue was. And as he opened his window, he began to get punched through the window. So I done what any, say, normal friend would do, which was to open my door to try and stop this madness. And I hadn't even had a chance to take my seatbelt off. And I was greeted with the same fist. So I was sat there in the back seat like a sitting duck. and that person was just pummeling the side of my head, and I was just trapped because the seatbelt was locked and I was glued to the back of my seat. So yeah, I just got beaten in the side of my head. It was like a hammer to the side of the head, Jan. So yeah, the next day, obviously, I was rushed to that hospital. I had to be put into that induced coma. And when my parents finally got to see me that evening, they were told, due to the severity of Ryan's injuries, that he most probably wouldn't make it through the night. But then on the third day, however, I was still being kept alive by the life support machine. And on the third day, my parents were asked to come to the hospital to have a conversation with the specialist. And on that third day, as my parents arrived at the hospital and sat down in this separate room in the intensive care unit, the specialist that done the work on me said to my parents, due to the severity of Ryan's injuries and because there was zero brain activity, we would highly suggest that you switch his life support machine off. And my dad ultimately saved my life because my dad said, no way. But I know Ryan more than any of you know Ryan, and he takes his own time to do anything. He's a stubborn little bugger, so you need to give him that time. And by my dad doing it, it ultimately saved my life.
Man, that alone is enough for this episode. I mean, when you were telling the story, I mean, I'm feeling goosebumps. Imagine that. Wait, what happened when you finally woke up? What's the first thoughts in your mind?
Yeah, sure. So over about a week period, I was in a coma for about a week. And again, like the whole time, the specialist told my parents, like, let's switch the machine off because I wasn't responding to anything. And they said to my parents, if he ever wakes up, like if he will never walk or talk again and will be in a vegetative state for the rest of his life. But my parents had that hope because that's what we need in life. We all need hope to cope. Have only positive expectations. So just before, Jan, like the question was, what happened when I first woke up? Just before I remember waking up, I was actually gifted this out of body experience where I honestly believe that I viewed myself through the eyes of my creator. And in this out of body experience, I remember seeing every single face that I'd ever seen. And they were all silently sobbing. And when I closed my eyes in that out of body experience, I heard this noise, which was beep, 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 which I thought it was my alarm clock to tell me to wake up to go to work. And my body went from really, really cold to starting to warm up to the point where this noise got so loud and so intense, I actually did open my eyes back on earth. And I looked down at myself and I realized that I had all these needles penetrating my skin. I had tubes penetrating my neck in my body there. And I had all these pads all over me. And I thought, what is going on? I didn't know if I was still in a dream or it was real. I didn't know what to expect. But then that noise, which was beep, beep, I looked at my left side here and it was that life support machine that was keeping me alive. And then I realized all of those memories that come flooding back from that night prior to being attacked. I remembered every single thing and I cried myself to sleep. And I remember that next or later that morning, I obviously woke up and my parents were there and they were just looking at me and they knew that I was awake, but they didn't actually know if I could understand anything they were saying because I couldn't speak. Nobody knew the true severity of my injuries.
Wow. What kept you, fighting for life, bro? What kept you in the game, so to speak? Because, that situation, it's not easy. You
No.
said that there was this time that your out of body experience, right? You can't even explain it what that is. But how did you manage? What was in your mind and in your heart that kept you fighting for life, grasping for that
Mm.
second chance to be back in this earth, in this world, in this life?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jan. And I honestly believe like we're all born with two lives, but the second one only begins when we realize that we just have one. So in that out of body experience, like I say, I saw every single face that I'd ever seen crying their eyes out. And that to me was a message to say that you have been put on this earth to complete a job and you hadn't yet complete that job. Hence why I believe that I was sent back to finish the job that I was yet to complete. So for me, I'd grown up as a child and people used to say to me, Jan, like, you're like a cat with 9 lives. Like, I always got into trouble. I'd be smashing my head all over the place. I'd be walking out in front of cars and everything. People say, like, how are you not dead yet? And I believe, like, because I was put on this earth to do something, to inspire, to change the world. And because I hadn't sort of even realized my own potential, I was gifted that next chance. People could say it was faith. And I say, yeah, it probably was. Like, not from a religious point of view, because I believe the word faith stands for find answers in the heart. So I was put back on earth, which to that point where I did wake up. And for me, there was no thinking about, am I okay? I didn't once think, am I okay? I just sat there and I was thinking, I can't wait to leave this hospital because I've got stuff to do. I've got a life to get on with.
Love
And
that. Love
when
that.
and when
Yeah. So,
people, yeah, sorry, when people realize the reality of death, they can actually use death as a motivator to put urgency into living their life.
love that. Love that. I remember when we had like a long call last year that you mentioned that you feel you actually that you're here in this world for a reason, and you want to share that, more than the experience, the values, the love. And I said that you're created really to, touch people's lives, transform people's lives, help them in a lot of ways. You speaking, coaching, and it's just a powerful, powerful thing. And I'm happy because I've been given an opportunity to meet a person like you. And guys, for everyone that is listening and watching this episode, please connect with Ryan. He's just an amazing human being, full of light, full of love, full of, care, because he was there. He it's a different story when, motivational speakers, inspirational speakers can really captivate you with a good story, right? With a good narrative. But it's a different story when that person really was in that situation, was in a transformational situation, that he can use that and give you the value of it. And this, my friends, is Ryan Nurse. Now, having said that, knowing your transformational journey, Ryan, and I know you're a successful coach, speaker. You're doing it step by step. You're starting your journey. Let's talk about, how, because this issue is very important. There's a lot of our colleagues out there, people that are listening and watching and supporting us. They experience this, and I know from a person of your magnitude, you have some valuable insights or tips, words of wisdom that can really boost everyone. What's your take on how to overcome the fear of failure? And when I say failure, it could be life, it could be business, or it could be same in your situation. That could be classified as a failure, right? You were partying, and then a hideous thing happened, an incident happened, an accident happened. So everyone has a different context of what failure is. But how to overcome that fear, it's a baseline. The floor is yours, my friend. Please share.
Yeah, thank you, Jan. So yeah, fear and failure for me, like, it's a big one. With fear can hold us back from achieving the greatest of things in our lives, but fear can also be used in our favor. Yeah. So you can let fear be a motivator, use fear as fuel to help propel you towards a future of fulfillment. So Will Smith once said, fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. And it's a product of our imagination causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. Don't get me wrong, danger is very real, but fear is a choice.
Whoa, love that. I love that perspective. I was about to say that, but then you cleared that out. Danger, that's factual, right? There's risk.
Exactly.
Yeah. But fear, it's a concept. Love
Exactly
that,
that,
right?
Jan.
Love that. Please continue. Please continue.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And yeah, I was going to come on to that as well. Like, so fear, it is a choice. Fear is a choice. We as humans are all born with two innate fears, and that's the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear is a learned fear. So you need to ask yourself, when, say, presented with fear, or you feel fear in your body, ask, is this just a fear or is this a fact? Because we have a fear of, say, not looking right on camera to friends and other people on social media. That's not a fear. That's an insecurity of people taking the mick out of you, or taking the piss out of you. Nobody really cares. That's all going on in here. You've made all this up in your mind. So fear is not final and it's not fatal, nor is failure. Like, failure is an essential stepping stone that you need to take in order to get to where you want to be in life. Like, failure is actually success in progress. Failure is part of success. And if you're not, say, willing to fail, you're not ready to succeed. Because failure, like, so many people get so worried about failing in life, but failure is just, it's perceived, because you don't actually ever fail. The only time you'll ever fail at something in life is if you choose to stop or give up. But like, fear,
Nice.
we've all heard the word fear, like false evidence appearing real.
Mm.
And it's true, like, cliches are cliches, like, because they're so true. And I look at fear, like, fear is just this picture that we say painted within our own mind. And it is usually worst case scenario. But then voluntarily heading towards pain may seem quite daunting. However, taking small and frequent steps to expose yourself to fear and discomfort on a regular basis will help build that courage that you need to withstand the pain that you once thought you could not bear. Because courage is actually just fear in action. Courage is the prerequisite to confidence,
Love that.
meaning the more your confidence grows, the more your courage grows. And it's just a cycle.
Mm.
It's like the confidence-competence loop.
Mm. Love that. Love that. I've read in an article one time that, you know, like you said, it's a concept, right? It's there. It's in human nature. But it's up to you. Like, again, what you shared, it's a decision whether you will succumb to the fear or to the opposite. And then on this article, it says that once you decide which one to consume, it does not eliminate fear, but you have decided to overcome it by choosing the other one, right? So you can, like, for example, like you mentioned, the fear of facing a camera, just as simple as it is. It doesn't delete the fear thing in you, but you decide to overcome it by facing the camera. And hence, the human brain, it's an amazing creation. Once you do that, subliminally, you don't even notice that, like what you've said, you are having that confidence. It eliminates that fear, that you will not have it anymore, because you decided to act on it. Therefore, the brain and the body connects, and it really transforms you as a human being. So, I mean, it's simple explanation, but it varies through situation, right?
Yeah, and like you said there, Jan, I picked up on something you said, like being comfortable, say, in the center of discomfort, because that's where the greatest of life lessons are. You know, in the center of discomfort is your next level of life, is sat right there. And you need to be comfortable in that place of discomfort. But it's not like that place doesn't exist. It's just you've learned to be okay being there. So fear isn't, say, the opposite to success, but it's learning to, or courage even, sorry. Fear isn't the opposite to courage, but, or courage isn't the opposite to fear, I should say, but it's to learn to do what you want to do and live your life on your terms despite of fear. So it's not like, say, fear ever goes away, but it's learning to dance with fear. So just imagine, say, dancing with fear. Like, the fear is going to be close to you at all times, but as long as you're dancing and you just keep moving, the fear is going to be there, but you're just going to keep moving on with your life. So learn to
Love that.
dance with fear rather than to try and block it out, because fear and failure, it's all part of the process of evolving into the best version of yourself.
Love that. Love that. Now that's the title of that clip there. Dancing with fear. I love that. I visualize it. You know, like when you're saying that concept, you need to dance with fear. You know, don't keep fear hinder you from even standing up and dance, right? Grab it, you know, swing it and dance with it. Do the motions, start acting, moving. Don't be afraid of making a mistake. Don't be afraid of, you know, being swallowed by fear in any context. Maybe, you know, a sickness, a situation. Again, it's we're on the same ocean but different boat. But do not be conformed by fear. Do not be afraid of fear to the extent that it will stop you in your tracks. Pull that fear, start doing what you are created to do. Act on it, move, dance with it, like what our special guest said. Dance with fear. Don't be afraid. Love that, Ryan. A little side note, a little follow-up question. What can you advise, you know, people that are already swallowed by fear and they feel that there's no hope, connected to your story, that you felt that the hope from your parents, and then when you were in that situation, you know you are there to really make a difference. There's this light in you. Now, what can you advise all our, you know, followers, listeners, viewers out there that are already in that situation, that they think, all right, let me just clear that, they think, because I believe that there's always hope, right? But they think there's no hope at all. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, so I believe there is a positive that can be extracted from every single negative in life, but it's down to you as the individual to go out there and find those positives. And Jan, like you mentioned, people may think that there's no hope. They may think that they failed. But the great thing about that is, if you change your thinking, you can change your life. Because life is just about perception. Your perception will shape your reality. So if you can change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And it's not usually the things we see, say, as a failure that are actually failures, but it's our perception of that, say, situation or incident. And usually the way that we look at things, they need to be changed, because, yeah, the way that we look at the issue is the issue. So you need to sometimes just take a step back and actually write stuff down. Like, that's the best thing that I could say to anyone. Start by writing things down and questioning your fears, doubting
Whoa.
your doubts. Doubt your doubts, because if you can't see it, you can't actually deal with it. So if you get it down on paper, you can see what you're dealing with and just question, is this actually a fear, or is this false? Have I made this up in my own head?
Hmm. Love that. Love that. Powerful, powerful tips, guys, from our wonderful guest. I love it. I learn a lot, and I know you guys listening and watching learn a lot as well. Thank you so much, Ryan. But we are not done yet. We started with a very serious story of transformation, and then we followed up with powerful perspective, concepts, and tips about how to overcome fear of failure. Now, let's lighten it a bit, bro. It's time to play a game. It's a traditional thing that we do here in the show. We call it the creative fast talk. All right. So how the game works is I will ask you questions that you are not allowed to spend much time thinking what the right answer is. All right. The
Okay.
first word that comes into your mind, boom, you need to say it. All right. And you need to be
Okay.
100% honest.
Okay, let's go.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. First question, sun or snow?
Sun.
Second, structure or chaotic?
Structure.
Hmm. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Lion. Ryan the lion. Always goes out there, doesn't procrastinate, just goes for the kill every time.
Right. Okay. Okay. Nice. Popcorn and movies or dinner and dancing?
Dinner and dancing.
Love it.
Sounds good
Love
to
it.
me, yeah.
Yeah. Passenger or driver?
Our driver, you got to be behind the wheel.
Yeah, because guys, for everyone that is listening and watching, Ryan here is a traveler. I'm a fan of his travel photos before, travel videos, and it's just an amazing thing to watch him on different areas, different countries, having fun. So he's an authentic traveler. By the way, because of COVID, so you don't have any travels booked in, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Poland on
Mm.
Thursday.
Wow. All right, there you go,
Yeah.
guys. All right, next. Wow, this next question is connected to your travels. Mountain or the beaches?
Yeah, I always get stuck on this one, to be fair. Like, I don't like sitting on the beach,
Hmm.
but then let's go with mountain because I enjoy, say, a challenge.
Yeah,
Cape
yeah.
Town for me, when I climbed Lion's Head and
Hmm.
Table Mountain in Cape Town, amazing. So yeah, let's say mountains.
Love it, love it. Okay. Ryan, what are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of getting to the end of my life with regrets.
Ooh, boom. Mic drop. Next. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. Movies or books?
Books.
All right. Since you mentioned books, we have books here. You have books there. Name your top 3 best book ever.
Okay, Think and Grow Rich. The Power of Now. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Boo. Love that. Love that. There you go, guys. Powerful recommendations from Ryan himself. Next. What is your dream superpower and why?
Yeah, this is a good. I like to be able to know what people are thinking in their own mind. I don't know why. Because I get fascinated by people. Like on my travels, Jan, I literally
Mm,
sit there and people watch, and I think, I wonder what that person's thinking. Like in Rome, for
mm,
instance, I see a
mm.
couple with a child, and they were just arguing. I thought, I wonder what's going through their head to argue.
Right,
Like
right.
just stuff like that just fascinates me. To be fair.
Wow, wow. Okay, okay. I'll accept that. Now, another connected to your travels. What is the weirdest food you ever tried?
Oh God, I've tried some weird food just off the top of my head. Oh my God, I've had some weird stuff. I've had a bit of shark in Thailand.
Shark.
Yeah, I've
Wow.
tried shark.
Can you give us an overview of that experience?
So yeah, it was quite a bad experience, to be fair. So I done the research before
Mm,
eating the shark, and it said make sure you get it from somewhere that's sort of reputable and a good restaurant, because it said something like if the shark isn't killed straight away, it urinates itself into the meat. And I was going on to, I don't know, a night out that night in Thailand. I think it was the first time I went to Thailand,
mm,
2013. And we tried shark, and they said you could have it barbecued or grilled.
mm.
And I think I said I would have one of each, and I can't remember which one it was. Maybe barbecued shark.
Mm.
And in all honesty, it tastes like piss. It was horrible. So yeah, bad experience.
Were you sick after you ate that?
No, I wasn't sick. I wasn't sick. No.
Good,
Um,
good. All right. There you go, guys. Don't eat sharks. All right. Our last question, Ryan, is something that can turn into something serious depending on how you will take the question. All right. The question is, if you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it
mm.
be and why? Anyone.
Yeah, straight away it'd be my granddad. Because yeah, seriously, like, there's a picture of him up there, and he sits on the shelf there where all my other books are, the ones that I've read recently,
Hmm.
and I've actually got what do you call it, like a do you know a sand timer? Do you know the sand
Yeah,
timers?
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a little one of those, but it's instead of sand, it's got his ashes in. So that's
Ooh,
up there on
wow.
a chain, and he sat there staring at me, and he helps me get through my days. And I've actually got a tattoo on my chest that says "Granddad" as well, so he's right close to my heart. So for
Wow.
when I told you about that out of body experience, I
Hmm.
think the person whose eyes I was viewing it through was maybe my granddad, and he was guiding me. And the reason why I survived is because I've got his name on, or I've got Granddad on here with his date of birth and his date of death right close to my heart, and he helped me get through. So yeah, if I could bring anyone back, it'd be my granddad, just to show
Love
him
that.
how far I've come already.
Man, I love that. And I'm sure he is happy and he's loving you ever. Man, he's proud of where you are and where you're going. So nice. Congratulations for that. There you go, Ryan. We started with, your transformation, your story, then the meat, topics, perspectives, tips, valuable insights from you. And then we played a game and we discovered not to eat sharks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ryan, for spending the time to be with us in the show. I know you're a very busy person and you're flying to Poland, but you spend time to be with us in the show. Thank you so much. Bro, feel free to promote your releases or social media accounts, any projects you're working on, events that you have. The floor is yours, brother.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody that's going to watch this back now. I really appreciate you. So, yeah, if you wanted to reach out or give me some support, follow me. The best place is on Instagram at Ryan Nurse _. And yeah, a couple of things that I've got in the pipeline. I'm writing 2 books, but I'm focused on one at the moment, mainly aimed at my target audience, which is people in their 20s. So I'm writing this book at the moment. So if you're interested, give me a shout and I'll stick you on the waiting list. I obviously do coaching as well, and I help guide confused adults in their 20s towards a future of fulfillment. So if you're looking to say level up in your life and you're ready to take action, but you're just sort of unsure on the next step or 2 steps to take, and you're looking for some guidance, yeah, feel free to reach out to me and I'd love to work with you.
Love that. Love that. Hit me up with that book. I would love to get a copy.
Thank you,
Guys,
Jan.
please do connect with Ryan Nurse. I'm sure he can help you in your journey towards success. Again, this is John Santos together with the amazing Ryan Nurse here as our special guest. Always remember, smile, have a positive outlook in life. God bless you all. Bye.